Welcome to video PT08 part 1, present and visualize. In this video we are going to look at the pivot charts, how we can create and format pivot charts if we already have a created pivot table. If you want to watch the full video, please go below in the description section. You will find a link. You can use it to go directly to the full video. Also, you can find a link. You can use it to download the Excel sheet so you can follow along or even practice after watching the video. If you didn't subscribe yet, please use the subscribe button and the bell icon to get notified with the new videos. So to create a pivot chart from this pivot table, I can go directly to Insert Ribbon, and from the chart section I can just select pivot chart, or while selecting any cell inside the pivot table, I can go to Pivot Table Analyze and go to the Tools, and I can select Pivot Chart. Once I select, it will open the dialog box for Insert Chart, and as you can see, it selected automatically the columns. Once I click on OK, it will create a pivot chart. As you can see, it is pretty much similar to the normal chart. However, there is some icons and buttons on the corners and on the right of the pivot chart. The three buttons in the bottom of the chart is interactive buttons, so I can just do some filtering here. You can see here is the segment field. You can just select and do some filtration. I can select the business segment or consumer segment. If I uncheck select all and selected segment, the pivot chart will be filtered only on the business segment, and this will happen also in the pivot table. And also I can use the plus and minus here, as exactly I can use it here on the left of the higher level of the rows section, meaning that if I collapse the business section, it will be collapsed here also. If I collapse the consumer, it will be collapsed here also. If I use the plus to expand, it will expand in both pivot table and pivot chart together. I can use the controls in the pivot table or the controls on the pivot chart to manipulate the data and manipulate the presentation of the pivot chart. Now I want to do some formatting for this pivot chart, and as you can see, if I have all the controls here in the pivot table, so I don't need to see it here in the pivot chart as well. So you can easily select the pivot chart and go to Pivot Chart Analyze, and from the field buttons, if you click the arrow below here, you can see all the objects on the pivot chart. I will select Hide All, and all of them will disappear, as you can see here. I want also to put the legend to the top, so I can just select, and from the green plus here I can go to legend and click on the arrow on the right and select top. You can see here it will jump to the top. I don't need the grid lines that I have here. I can just select any one of them and delete using the keyboard. Also, I don't want to see the labels on the axis, so I can select the axis and right click axis format. It will open the format pane on the right hand side here. I can go to labels, and from labels I'll see the label position next to axis. I can just select and select none. It will disappear from the chart. Now I want to add the data labels on the top of the columns for the net sales, so I can go again to the green plus and go to data labels and just click. It will appear on the top here. I can select and use the Control B to make it bold. I can also select the horizontal axis labels and Control B, so it will appear much nicer. I can select the net sales series, as you can see here, and I can go to format data series on the right hand side here, and I can go to the fill, and I can select something like solid fill and a color similar to what I have here in the pivot chart. So I'll select it from the drop down here. I can select this color, the light blue, and also I can change the color of this label to have it something like dark blue to match what I have here in the color of the quantity series. I can go to home, and here from the font coloring I can just give it something like dark blue. That was all for today. Hope that was useful for you. Please stay tuned for PT08 part 2. It will be coming soon. And thank you very much for your time, and see you in next video, and bye.